education to combine your hard work with our smart work. This video is the continuation of the previous part of Indus Valley Civilization. So students, I would like to recommend you to watch my previous video of part 1 of Indus Valley Civilization before watching this video. The part 1 video linked I have uploaded in the description box. Today I'll be discussing about the city planning and architecture of Indus Valley Civilization. Next, I'll discuss about the art of Indus Valley Civilization. Next, about language and religion of Indus Valley Civilization and the burials of Indus Valley Civilization. First of all, let us see about the city planning and architecture of Indus Valley Civilization. This is the diagram of city planning of Indus Valley Civilization. Students, we have seen from this diagram that the cities were divided into the Eastern Citadel and Western Lower Town. Most of the institutions and public places were located in the citadel. On the other hand, the lower town comprised of residential places. There was a clear division of professions between the two parts, that is citadel and the lower town. Both citadel and the lower town I'll be discussing separately. First of all, let us discuss about the citadel. In citadel, a grid pattern structure was seen where the street crossed at right angles. The individual drains from residents directly flowed into the central drains. Thus, the cities were way ahead of any modern cities present at the time in respect to the drainage system. If we see about the major buildings resided in the citadel, we find that these buildings had walls made of burnt bricks, made of mud or gypsum. The floors of these buildings were made of flat bricks that resembles modern day tiles. Next, the door and windows were prevalent in these buildings, and windows were like slits on the walls. The upper stories were connected with the staircase and resembles modern day duplex. Two special characteristic features of these buildings were seen. They were their bathrooms and the drainage system. The bathrooms were well paved and connected with the street drainage system. The drains from the ground floor were horizontal and constructed of bricks, while the drains coming from the upper stories were vertical and made of terracotta pipes. If we see about the roofs of the citadel, roofs were flat. They had excessively strong foundation and designed to carry proportionally high superstructures. Many believe that the superstructures were like sikharas. All these buildings of the citadel were enclosed inside a fortification. Therefore, the citadel part was enclosed inside a system of fortified walls. Public baths were also found in the citadel. They were used for rituals and ceremonies. These were made of bricks. Example, the Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro. Granaries were also found in citadel. They were used to hold large quantity of grains, and that was the major reason why the people of citadel were rich. Example of such granaries is Great Granary. Next, coming to the artificial lakes were cut out of stones to store rainwater. Coming to the next part, that is lower town. These were the residential areas where the common people of Indus Valley civilization lived. The houses were smaller in size and made of mud bricks. The houses in lower town had a courtyard, an individual well, bathroom place, and drains connected to the central drainage system towards the Indus River. It is noteworthy that open defecation did not exist during Harappan civilization. Next, coming to the art of Indus Valley civilization, the art of Indus Valley civilization give immense detail about the life of people at that time, which were found to be emerging during the second half of third millennium. The artists of that time surely had fine artistic sensibilities and clear imagination. The forms of art found from various sites of civilization include sculptures, seals, pottery, jewelry, terracotta figures, etc. The artists and craftsmen of Indus Valley civilization were extremely skilled. First of all, let us see about the seals found from Indus Valley civilization. We have found that thousands of seals were discovered in Indus Valley civilization, and the standard size of Harappan seal was a square shape of 2 into 2 square inches. It includes the figure of unicorn bull, rhinoceros, elephant, tiger, bison, goat, buffalo, etc. The purpose of producing these seals was mainly commercial, which were used as amulets carried by the persons as the modern day identity card. Pasupati seals is identified as one of the most remarkable seals here. This seal depicts a human figure seated cross-legged. An elephant and a tiger are depicted to the right side of the seated figure, while on the left a rhinoceros and a buffalo are seen. In addition to these animals, two antelopes are shown below the seat. Such seals were found in ancient city of Mohenjo-daro of Indus Valley civilization. Next, let us see about the rock sculpture of Indus Valley civilization. The sculpture were found at Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. In rock sculpture, two male figures, one is a torso in red sandstone and other is a bearded man, which is extensively discussed. The figure of bearded man, interpreted as a priest, is draped in a shawl coming under the right arm and covering the left shoulder. This shawl is decorated with trefoil pattern. The eyes are a little elongated and half closed as in meditative concentration. The hair is parted in the middle. An armlet is worn on the right hand and holes around the neck suggested a necklace. Next, let us see about the bronze figures found from Indus Valley civilization. Such bronze statues were made using the lost wax technique. In bronze, we found human as well as animal figures. The best example of human is the statue of a girl popularly known as dancing girl. Among animals, bronze figure of a bull was found from Kalibangan. Next, let us see about the terracotta of Indus Valley civilization. The more realistic terracotta figures were found in Gujarat sites and Kalibangan. In terracotta, we find a few figures of bearded males with coiled hair, their postures rigidly upright, legs slightly apart, and the arms parallel to the sides of the body. Toy car with wheels, birds, and animals, gamesmen were also found. Next, coming to the pottery of Indus Valley civilization. This pottery helps us to understand the gradual evolution of various design motifs as employed in different shapes and styles. Plain pottery, which was made of red clay, is more common than the printed one. Black painted ware, polychrome pottery, perforated pottery were also found here. Pottery of different shapes and size were also found, which were used for daily household purposes. Next, coming to the beads and ornaments. The beads used by the people of Indus Valley civilization were made of various precious stones like carnelian, jasper, lapis lazuli, quartz, etc. Metals like copper, bronze, gold, cells were also used for making beads. The bead industry of Indus Valley civilization have been well developed as evident from the factories discovered at Chanhudaro and Lothal. From archaeological finds, it appears that the people of Indus Valley civilization were conscious of fashion. The Harappan men and women decorated themselves with jewelry made from precious metal, gemstones, and baked clay. Different hairstyles and wearing of a beard was popular among them at the time. I'd also like to mention that cinnabar was used as a cosmetic and face paint. Lipstick and eyeliner or collyrium were also known to them. Thus, here we can conclude that the arts and art craftsmen of Indus Valley civilization were extremely skilled in variety of crafts, metal casting, stone carving, making and painting pottery, making terracotta figures, using simplified motifs. Let us say about the language and religion of Indus Valley civilization. We have seen that the script of Indus Valley civilization was written from right to left. Different languages which were spoken within Indus Valley civilization were Proto-Dravidian, Elamo-Dravidian, Indo-Sumerian, Indo-Aryan, Austro-Asiatic languages. I'll be discussing each of them separately. First, let me discuss about Proto-Dravidian language. Tamil language, Malayalam language, Kannada language, and Telugu language emerged from Proto-Dravidian language. Next, let us discuss about Elamo-Dravidian languages. It is a hypothesized language that link Elamite language of ancient Elam, now Iran, and Dravidian language of South Asia. The existence of this language in Indus Valley civilization was suggested by David McAlpine in 1971. Next, let us see about Indo-Sumerian language. Sumer is one of the earliest known civilization located in historical region of Mesopotamia, now in Iraq. Sumer was located approximately 600 miles west of Indus and separated from the Indus land by Arabian Sea. There was a considerable commercial trade between the two countries, and this can be proved by the 30 Indus Valley seals excavated in Sumer. Thus, for trade, Sumerian language migrated to Indus Valley civilization and Indo-Sumerian language became a major language. Let us see about the Indo-Aryan language of Indus Valley civilization. Indo-Aryan speakers started arriving in Indus Valley during 2000 BC. Indo-Aryan people migrated from Central Asia. Let us see what is the boundary of Central Asia. If we see, the northern side is the Russia, towards the south is Afghanistan and Iran, If we see in the western side, the upper part is Eastern Europe, the lower boundary is of Caspian Sea. In the eastern side is the western China. This total comprises of Central Asia. The Great Migration slowly diffused their language into Indus Valley Civilization, and thus Indo-Aryan language became the prominent in Indus Valley Civilization. Next, let us see about the Austro-Asiatic language of Indus Valley Civilization. Austro-Asiatic language is divided into Mundari and Mon Khmer. Mundari language is spoken by the people of Chotanagpur Plateau, and this Mundari language is further divided into Rano, Gata, and Korku. Next, Mon Khmer language is spoken by the people of Northeast and Andaman and Nicobar. This language is further divided into Khasi language, which is spoken by the people of Meghalaya, Nicobarese, which is spoken by the people of Nicobar, and Somfen, which is spoken by the people of Nicobar. Austro-Asiatic migrations occurred from southeastern Asia into India during the last glacial maximum. Last glacial maximum, which is also known as last glacial coldest period, which occurred 10,000 years ago. These people blended into Indus Valley civilization, and thus Austro-Asiatic language was introduced in Indus Valley civilization. Let us say about the religion of Indus Valley civilization. There were no religious buildings that were found during the excavations. Temples cannot be identified because of absence of icons and sculptures. However, female figures from western sites were found which shows presence of goddesses cult. Worship of goddesses have continued till today, and even today we worship deities and goddesses in the form of goddess Durga, Lakshmi, etc. During the Indus Valley civilization, there were three sects of people. A part of population worshipped Shakti, also referred as Mahadevi or Yoni. This sect of religious practice is called Shaktism. The other religious practice was Saivism, in which the followers worshipped Purusha, also called Mahadeva or Lingam. This practice is called Saivism. Basically, Shaktism was the worship of goddesses Sati, while Saivism was the worship of Lord Shiva. Even though both these religions were separate, but both Shakti and Purusha embraces the concept of sexual dualism of a single god. The next prominent religion practice was Shamanism. Shamanism is a religious practice that involves the practitioner interacting with spirit to acquire power to heal the sick, communicate with spirits, and escort souls of dead to afterlife. Next, let us see about the burial practices of Indus Valley civilization. More than 200 bodies have been dug out from the excavated Harappan sites. These burials were conducted in large pits, which were oval and rectangular in shape. They were lined with mud bricks. Coffins were also sometimes placed inside these pits. However, the burial practice can be divided into following types. First, complete burial, which was found in Mohenjo-daro. Next, fractional burial, which was found both in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, and post-cremation burials commonly found in Balochistan region. As the name suggests, Complete burial is a method whereby a dead body is placed into the ground, sometimes with object. As you might have seen or read about the mummies of Egypt, where the bodies were buried with objects for afterlife. Here it is seen that the body is covered with mud. Next, in fractional burial, it is the burial of bones after exposure of the body to birds and beasts. Next, post-cremation burials, as the name suggests, was burial of ashes after cremation. These ashes were placed inside mud pots and later buried under the ground. Such burial is also called as pot burials. In the complete and fractional burial method, the head of the dead body is normally laid towards the north, and commonly used items by the persons were also buried along with the body. This figure of burial in clay box and the another that is pit with mud bricks is an example of complete burial system which was found in Mehergar. Next, pot burial and brick lined grave. Both are example of pot burial which is found in Kalibangan. The last figure, that is a double burial, which is an example of complete burial which is found in Lothal. It also shows the system of sati at the time. With this, I have come to the end of today's video and the remaining part of Indus Valley civilization, that is the political, economical, social life of Indus Valley civilization, and also about the decline of Indus Valley civilization, I'll be covering in the next part of my video.